Hey everybody, happy Talkie Tuesday. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my studio. My name is Dori Patrick. I am a mixed media artist and maker. I live and work in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I try to check in every week to share little bits of my creative life. And I am happy to see you again this week. Thank you so much for all of the wonderful feedback you guys gave me on that journal with me video last week. It was really fun. These prompts, I know I've told you this a million times. They are just so good for getting my brain to think outside the box. I think sometimes when you give yourself parameters, like a couple of words to work with in your journal, parameters can really help you get creative with what you're working on. And I don't always like parameters, but in this case, they've been really fun to play with in my journal. But anyway, thank you for all your kind words and feedback. We had our last journal jam this past week, and it was fun to see what the other gals came up with. Every month we have at least a few people that take the prompt and work with it, and it's always fun to see what people come up with. So anyway, thank you for being here. This is going to be a quick chatty video because I just have so much to do this week. I have an event coming up at the end of the week. So Saturday, April 25th, I will be at Pots, Plants, and Prints. I think that's what it's called. I get the plants and the prints mixed up. We'll call it PPP, the Triple P show. And it's at the Cherry Building in the Nubo district here in Cedar Rapids. It's being hosted by the Iowa Ceramic Center, which is inside the Cherry Building. And there's going to be a bunch of us artists selling our wares. And it's going to be an Earth Day celebration. So all of the work, most of the work that we are bringing is to celebrate Earth Day, which is Wednesday, tomorrow. But it's easier to have a celebration on a Saturday, of course. Anyway, so I've got a lot of stuff to do this week. I'm going to be working all day, every day in the studio this week, and then probably at night. Usually when I watch TV and I'm getting, like in the evenings when I'm getting ready for a show, I am watching TV and packaging stuff. So I have some new postcards I want to bring with me, some greeting cards. I'm not sure exactly what my setup is going to be like. It's not going to be my typical 10 by 10 art show booth. There's just not room for that. So we're all getting, I believe, a 6-foot table. And so we're working off of a 6-foot table. I'm waiting to see if maybe I can put a spinner for my cards next to the table. We're not quite sure yet. I'm bringing cards no matter what. I just don't know if I can put them in the spinner that I usually put them in. It's going to be tight quarters. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. Just lots to do. So I just wanted to say hey and check in and keep my streak going, even though I kind of feel like I babble about nothing when I do these little videos. But a life is made up of all kinds of little nothings, isn't it? So did you all have a good weekend? We were busy at the house this past weekend. We had cold weather here in Iowa, so we stayed in and tackled, let's see, what did I do? I did come to the studio on Saturday. I worked most of the day on Saturday. I'll show you what I'm working on. To get a few more things over the finish line for this event that I'm doing. So Saturday I was in the studio most of the day, and then Sunday we did honeydew chores. My husband always does meal prep for us. I'm so lucky. We decide what we're going to eat the week before, and he usually works on it on Sunday so that the rest of the week we don't have to worry or think about what we're going to eat. We just pick something and we go with it. And it has really, that's been a game changer for us. Just having one less thing to think about and figure out during the week. So he was doing that. I was doing laundry. And as many of you know, I moved to this studio recently, and the house has been in disarray ever since. So one of the things that was on my list to tackle was my bedroom closet. So all day Sunday, I pulled everything out of my closet and went through it and cleaned things out. And we got a new smaller dresser to add to the bedroom. So I now have a big dresser and a small dresser. So I was able to spread my stuff out, clean everything out. And it feels so good now to have stuff I'm not using out of the way. I cannot, I just go and I open the door to the closet and look in, and I just love, I love just looking at that, cleaned out, neat closet. And everything in there is stuff that I use. I am not going to waste time digging through things that I do not like or do not wear or cannot fit into or whatever. It just it's so freeing. And I have a big pile of stuff to go to the Goodwill. So I'm really excited about that. I thought I was going to get that delivery done today, but I don't think it's happening. But anyway, big. So that was really huge and really positive. And the other thing too is, along with all these other changes around the house, we got a new bed. And because we live in an old house with a narrow stairwell that twists, we had to take down all the art and all the nails in that stairwell so that we could get this new bed up the steps. What a pain in the butt. But so worth it because the bed is comfy. But um, so all of my art that we had hanging in that stairwell and also in the rumpus room and our new family room, all of it has just been languishing in the house in piles. And I am finally I'm getting stuff hung up. So, I had a big abstract painting there's just one painting left over from a show I did back in 2020, I think. It was an exhibit that I had at the University of Iowa. And it was this one lone abstract painting, big, and we hung it up. We hung it up. If I can remember, I'll try to take a photo. We hung it over my little workspace in the rumpus room, and I could not be happier. Anyway, so we're just, getting your space back together feels so good. You don't really realize, I think, how chaos can affect you until it really starts affecting you. I mean, the weeks would go on and it's like, oh my God, I just got to get this done. So that's what I did on Sunday. And I was just pooped out. But it was totally worth it. Anyway, what I'm going to share with you today is some of the stuff that I am working on for this Pots, Plants, and Prints, the PPP show this Saturday. So again, the Cherry Building in the Nubo District, 10 to 3. Come and see us. You will not be disappointed, you guys. I have seen who is coming to this show. There are going to be some fun people, some fun artists with some fun stuff to sell. So come on out and support handmade. You know you want to. And so that has been my focus. And so last week I was really feeling stuck. I mean, I've been making stuff. I'll show you I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the other stuff that I have made. But I was having a day. You know how you have a day, and I was stuck. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, what I should be focusing on, what I should be working on. And so I started to dig through my flat file cabinet, and I was pawing around and found some little, I think you could call these studies. They're little fast floral paintings that I did when I took a class with Emily Ball from the UK. She had a workshop in Orlando. My God, it was so much fun. Really pushed me in ways I needed to be pushed. We don't like to be pushed, but sometimes we need it. Um, Anyway, we had this exercise where we did timed fast florals, and I found mine um, from that session. And let me just get in a little closer here. I'm on my desk, so I'm going to lean over awkwardly. Um, so like this is a real close up of the inside of a daisy. Um, there's another kind of a rose or peony type flower. So these are some of the little studies that I did at that class. And I remember how much fun we had doing these. We had so much fun. So I decided to take inspiration from these these little studies. I'm sorry, you guys, my allergies are terrible. So I found some watercolor paper, and I cut it up randomly because these were all just cut up randomly. We didn't measure, we didn't perfect. So I cut up a whole bunch and I just took inspiration from these. So, for example, this little guy that I was showing you the close up of the daisy inspired another version of that same close up of a daisy. The one thing that really got me here's another. This is the inspiration, and this is kind of a different version of that. Um, what really got me jazzed was this one, carving into it and creating the approximation of a flower. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not spelling out all of the petals and every little detail of the flower, but you can still see that it's a flower. I love that about this. And I love how it's kind of wonky. The stem is kind of wide and has this quirky little leaf. That's all from carving back into this painting with some heavy body acrylics. So this idea, this whole carving into a painting to create a flower really got me excited. And so I started playing with that idea. I'm going to put these in front of my face. So hopefully, and I think I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see them a little bit better. But I was on a roll, you guys. This original inspired this one because I love the yellow. And I just had a ball. Now, these are not done yet. I am going to, they have a coating of clear gesso on them. So I am going to come back into them with marking tools and excuse me, and seal them up and get them ready for the market. I think I'm going to cut up some backing board and put them into sleeves. I just felt like I wanted to make something little and affordable. I don't know yet how much these are going to be, but something just really easy, affordable, and accessible to anybody, just fun little flowers. So that's what I've been working on. And I have been having so much fun with these. I have, what am I trying to say? I've sized them up. So I prepped some wood panels and I have created some of these. I've started them um, in a larger scale. So now I'm like, okay, well, can I take these bigger? Well, of course I can. But I'm working through the challenge of, there's something just so not precious about a piece of paper, a little wonky piece of paper. There's something a little more precious about a wood panel. And I just have to get over that thinking and just pretend that my wood panel is another teeny little piece of paper. Does that make sense? So I am excited to dig into those today. So I'm hoping to get those done. But I'm going to turn the camera around real quick and I'm going to show you what else I have been up to for this Earth Day event that's coming up Saturday. I think you might like what I've been up to. I hope so. Okay, we'll go over there to the table. Okay, before we go over to the table, I lied. I'm sorry. I wanted to show these to you a little more in not such a frenzied way. Um, I love this yellow bloom, just really makes me happy. So I had a lot of fun carving into these paintings with some mostly darker colors. There are a few that have some light backgrounds. This one is a two-tone. That was really fun. This one kind of a bouquet. So that's what I'm working on, finishing these up and sealing them. I'm really happy with that one. That's really fun. Yeah, some I like more than others, but here's the thing that I have learned over the years is you don't judge. You will be surprised what somebody else will love or that you are being so critical of. So yeah. And I don't know if that one picks up, but that's fluorescent. That is yummy. So, yeah, I don't know even how many I've got here. I've got a lot, but they were so fun. And I would, slap something on one of them and then I'd have a little extra paint and I would take that and slap it on another one. They were just so free and fun. I played music, um, and just had a blast. I like this one a lot. So those are the little baby ones. These measure, I don't know, they're about like an index card size. So whatever that is, 3.5 by 5-ish. But they're all slightly different. They're little wonky sizes. So yeah, I'm going to finish those up today. And then let's go over to the work table and I'll show you what else I'm up to. Okay. Okay, here we are at, so this is my work table. And this is I call this my overflow table. It's where I put finished things, I've sealed them and they need to dry and they need to cure. This is where the overflow goes. So I had a whole bunch of these they are 6 by 6 chunky canvases. These are all paint overs. I don't remember what was on them. I think they were abstract paintings that just weren't really going anywhere. And I painted over them with some messy florals and then gave them all little pots. So all the pots are see if I can get you in there. These are all painted raw canvas. I just dug into my scrap bin and cut out all these little pots and glued them down, and then finished the florals with a few more details. So I have a whole bunch of these. These I hope will be a nice little, a nice little affordable option for people. I've got a couple of, sorry, I hope I'm not making you dizzy. I've got a couple of larger than those, larger florals. That's 11 by 14, I think. And this one's like 12 by 16. And this little guy with the blue background, I really love him. And I did some little half and halves. If you have been taking fodder school, you know that my lesson was the split heads. I love taking artwork, tearing it in half, and putting it back together again. That's exactly what I did with these. These were works on paper, actually, that I wanted to elevate a little more. So I attached them to a canvas panel and then popped them into these little wooden frames. And then we're getting weird over here. You saw these maybe on the socials. I don't know why I felt the need to make toothy tulips, but here we are. Here we are, friends. Dori has lost her mind and made toothy tulips, and I could not love them more. They crack me up. So this is a wood panel with kind of a lip, like, so I treated that as a frame. And then the tulips themselves are just like plaster sculptures that put that I've attached, and there's just a little space between the tulip and the frame that it's in, so they kind of look like they're floating. So not only are they toothy, they are also floating, which is hilarious. I did I did 5 of them. And finally, I got some sunshine shadow boxes done. I got 3 of these babies done. And you may have seen on the socials too, I am teaching a workshop of these guys in May at Kirkwood Community College. Now, the one we're doing is going to be teeny tiny. These guys are like 10 by 10. The sunshine, I think itself is 8 by 8. So it's a paper mache box, and then I sculpted and painted. And again, the suns are floating in the shadow box as well. So if you are local and you want to come and make one, I will put a link to that workshop. It's going to be really fun. And there's a third one over here. Let me see. Yeah, with her red lips. Yeah, and they can just stand, on a shelf like this. You could put a little hanger on the back and hang them on the wall. Um, whatever you want to do with them. And then one more pass. I'm going to turn again. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. And yes, I promise we'll do a studio tour very soon. It's on my list of things to do. These are some of my in process pieces, and I think I need to back you guys up a little. There. I think that's a little better. I'm really trying not to be too shaky. These are 12 by 12 canvases here, and these are my 8 by 10 wood panels. And as you can see, I started those first layers of laying down some marks and doing those singular funky flowers on them. And I think it's going to work out. I think I just need to keep layering, until I kind of get what I'm after. There's a couple more down here. This one I'm a little further on. So yeah, I am excited to get after those. And then you might have seen this on the socials. And I can't really get a good shot of it. It's a biggie. It's one of my exploding flowers. That one's all done. And that will be probably coming with me on the road this summer. But yeah, I'm digging this collage. I'm not sure how I'm going to respond to that, but I'm loving these bits of collage. We're back at the desk. I hope that didn't make you too dizzy, you guys. The other thing I have on my to-do list besides getting ready for that event is I occasionally teach the littles here at the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. And by the littles, I mean kindergarten to second grade. I help out once in a while with their after-school art program. And I have a couple of projects planned, and I need to get a couple samples made. We just got these in, so I need to play with them. It's a batch of paper cones, and I'm going to play around with decorating them, giving them a handle, and making like a little May Day basket that the kiddos can put little goodies in for whoever they want. I'm thinking there's going to be enough in here that we can all do two. We'll see. But that's on my to-do list too. So no rest for the wicked, right? Thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content and want to help support my efforts, I sure would appreciate a like. Please subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and leave me a comment if you want. Leave me, if you made it to the end of this video, how about you leave me some kind of emoji that celebrates spring? That could be a lot of things. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you put. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.